Hello everybody, welcome back to Sin City Living. Welcome back to our dice class. So we are now progressing into phase 4. Phase 4 deals with the center action. Center action. So before I get into how these actually work and how these actually pay, I want to go over some of the responsibilities of the stickman. First off, the dice. If the dice are not in the center of the table, then the stickman's eyes need to always be on the dice. That's why we don't like late bets, because they're not supposed to take their eyes off the dice, so they're not supposed to set bets up. Do you see stick people do that all the time? Absolutely. They're terrible. They're terrible. They're just forgetting the most basic thing they learn. They should never take their eyes off of the dice. Period. Never take your eyes off the dice. Second thing, the stick person is sometimes referred to as a second box. And why is that? It's because whatever side of the table the dice are landing on, like if the dice are going this way, if the dice are going that way, whatever side of the table the dice are landing on, it is the stick person's responsibility to watch the dealer on that side. Make sure their payouts are correct, make sure they're handing things off correctly, make sure they're booking their bets, make sure that they are traveling things the proper way, just making sure that everything is done properly on that side. It's just a second set of eyes is all it is. And then they're also responsible for paying. Now, when you're paying center action, a couple things to keep in mind. One, you wait until all the payouts and everything is finished on that side of the table. The base dealer should have all of their work completed before you start paying. Next, you pay from dealer to stick person. So you start out with position 8 over there, or position 1, and then you come around to position 8. And then on this side, you start out with position 16 and come around to position 9. So you start next to the dealer and then come around to the stick person. You pay the side of the table you are watching first. That should be obvious. That should be extraordinarily obvious. You pay the side of the table you are watching first. Now, all of this sounds like it's really, really basic. However, keep in mind that you're supposed to be watching, let's say the shooter's over here, so the dice are going that way. So that's my side of the table, is my responsibility to watch. So the dice land, I collect the dice, I bring them back to the center of the table. Players, let's say an easy 10 roll. So I'm working on I need to take down the losing bets. Players are throwing money in. Let me get my heart 10 back. Let me get my heart 10 back. Let me get a three-way crowd. Let me get a horn bet. Let me get aces. I want a high-low. Let me hop the three-way sixes. All these chips are flying in at me. Well, I've got to be collecting everything up, making sure that these chips don't mess up any other bets that are currently there, while also watching that side of the table, watching all that dealer's payouts. Now it's not quite so easy, which is kind of the difference between a good dealer and a bad dealer. A good dealer is able to keep track of 16 voices yelling at him and 16 chips come flying in at him while watching their side of the table. It doesn't mean that sometimes you don't take your eyes off. Of course, sometimes we do. Also depends a lot on the dealer on that side. If it's one of the strongest dealers over there and all their bets are super basic, simple bets, yeah, I'm probably going to take my eyes off of them. But I'm still listening. Nothing is more frustrating to other dealers and to box people than dealers that cannot listen, cannot hear their players. When a base dealer can't hear the other 4 players telling them, I want to press my bet, I want to press 1 unit, or I want to take my bets down or turn me off, while they're paying the 5th player, they can't hear all of this and remember it while they're paying the 5th player, but instead finish paying the 5th player, then look at the other 4 and say, what did you want? That's extraordinarily frustrating. That is a dealer that does not belong in dice. You have to be able to pay attention to your entire side of the table. The dealer needs to be able to pay all their bets over there, book anything else the players are yelling at them, while also booking anything that gets thrown in here. Any bets in here need to be booked twice. They need to be booked by the base dealer and need to be booked by the stick dealer. So, they need to be able to keep track of everything. Dealers at all sides of the table need to be able to keep track of every single thing. Very, very, very basic. Another general rule is the stick person needs to sell the center action. If you're in a come out roll, the stick person should be trying to sell C&Es and horn bets and crap checks and all of that stuff, three-way sevens, whatever. You know, if people are betting hardways and they have them working, does anybody want to bet a red? Cover your, protect your hardways, cover them. You know, anybody want any C&Es, crap checks, horn bets, 7-Elevens? What do you got? Send it to us. They should be trying to sell their bets, not, okay, we're coming out, new shooter. Any bets? Dice are out. That's a crappy deal. That's a lazy dealer. It's a lazy dealer and a crappy dealer. So they should be trying to sell their bets. Now, let's look at how the center action works. So we're going to start off, I'm going to start off with the C&E, the any crap, the any 7, and the hardways. That's going to be in today's video. Right? And I have a reason for that. So, let's take a look. So you've got your any crap, pay 7 to 1. Some tables, it will say, most tables, it's going to say 8, 4, 1. 4, 1, 8, 4, 1 is the same as 7, 2, 1. Right? Because 8, 4, 1 means if it hits, then I'm going to pay them $8 for this dollar. I'm going to take it. But you always leave player center action up, which means that we're going to take $1 back, keep them up, so they get $7, 7, 2, 1. 8, 4, 1, or 7, 2, 1. Okay. Any crap should be pretty obvious. 2, 3, or 12. The 3 crap numbers. Simple. Right? If it hits, they get paid 7 to 1. If it doesn't hit, they lose. It's a one-roll bet. Every bet, we usually tell players that every bet in red is a one-roll bet, even though this is printed in white. Most tables this is printed in red, but you also have the red dice. So we tell them anything in red is a one-roll bet up here. Hardways, the payout is right on there. Right? 9 to 1 or 10, 4, 1, then 8, 4, 1 or 7, 2, 1. Hardways stay up. They only come down in the event of an easy way, say a 4, 2 or 5, 1, or 7. If 7 comes, it loses. Okay? Now, when it comes to position, you always assume that this is the table and the stick person standing right here. You have to split it. So next to the stick person on this side of the table will be right here. This is directly to my left. This is directly to my right. And then it follows the table just like the place bet box numbers, which means that this would be right next to the base dealer on that side. This right next to the base dealer over there. Right here, top hook. Right here, bottom hook. This side. Top hook, bottom hook, this side. And that holds true for every single bet. Even though I'm not going to cover how they pay out yet. Say the horn bets. This, probably next to the base dealer over there. Now I already know, because this happens every class, players go, wow, there's not enough space, what are you going to do? If you're going to do the best you can. The odds of all 16 players betting a horn bet or something else is pretty slim, but it can happen, but it's pretty slim. You're going to do the best you can. Okay? When we get to the hot bets, which is going to be in a later video, they're real small. They're basically a bet that's the size of the chip. So when you have multiple people betting it, sometimes it looks like you'll have a bet that looks like this. And you just got to remember, hey, this one is that guy, this one is that guy over there, this one is that guy. And you have little tricks you can do. There's usually something on the chips that you can use as a pointer to point towards the player, or just a way that you're going to do it to know. For instance, I know people that will do a high-low and do this. And that means that it's that player over there. Whatever works, but you're going to do the best you can. You can't play the what-if game over and over and over again. That's just honestly, it's stupid. You can't play the what-if game. You see what's there. What if this? What if this? What if this? You just do the best you can. Just like with your don't comes. With your don't comes and your behind bets that don't all fit. So, any crap, 8 for 1 or 7 to 1. 6 and 8, hard 6, hard 8, 10 for 1 or 9 to 1. Hard 10, hard 4, 8 for 1 or 7 to 1. Next, the ante 7. The ante 7, this is not hopping the 7, it's the ante 7. Right? The ante 7 and the crap bet, those are there as courtesy bets because they are so common that a bet was put in place so that you didn't have to bet $3 in order to be able to bet all of them. Because there's 3 crap numbers. So you could do a 3-way crap, which requires $3, $1 on each, or 15 if you're on a higher end table where they require $5 minimum in here. Instead, you could bet any crap for $1. Now, if a 12 rolls, instead of getting paid, if you had a 3-way crap, you get for $3, you'd be getting paid $28. Instead, you're going to get paid $7. Works out a little bit better for you on the ace deuce, but it doesn't pay as well, but you've got less of risk. Same thing for the A7. You can bet a buck. Now again, you just do the best you can to remember, to signify to yourself and remember where the bet is. 4-1 or 5-4-1. 4-2-1 or 5-4-1. The last one is the 11. Now the 11 is a hot bet, which means it's just betting a combination of the dice, the 5-6 or the 6-5. So there's two ways for it to come, 6-5 or 5-6. And it can come 6-5 or it can come 5-6. That's why it's two different combinations. So that has a 1 in 18 chance of coming. Pay 16-4-1 or 15-2-1. The reason I'm covering this one today instead of with the rest of the hot bets is because I want to cover the C&E. C&E, $2 minimum because they have to do $1 on each. This is just a courtesy spot. So many people bet a C&E on the come out roll that instead of having to do this, to mark them all, they put them up here. Now some dealers will split it up, but most are just going to leave it just like that. $2 minimum because they have to have $1 on each, the crap and the 11. C is crap, E is 11. This is the first spot that we really run into using keys. This is one of the most common bets. I'm going to teach you guys keys, but we don't use keys most of the time. 90% of the time, we're not going to use a key. This is one that's pretty common. If a crap rolls, all right, this is the total bet. This is $2, okay? You're not looking at the dollar on the crap. You're looking at this $2. If a crap rolls, this pays 3 times the bet. So they got $2 bet here, so that means they get $6, right? Well, let's look at this. If they have $1 on the crap and $1 on the 11, they would get paid 7-1. So they get paid $7, but this lost. But we always keep up their action. So in order to keep it up, we take $1 out of their 7. They have $6, right? So 3 times the bet. 4 times on there, they get paid 12. They only had $3 on there, they'd get paid 9. $5 C&E, fairly common, they get paid 15. Now with the 11, 7 times the bet. 7 times the bet. So let's look at this again. This way. 15-1, 11 rolls. They get paid $15. But we need to keep this bet up that lost, so we take it out of that 15, they get paid $14. What's 7 times 2? $14. Okay. 7 times the bet. So if they had $3 on it, they would get paid $21 if an 11 rolls, if an E rolls. Okay. Everything else is fairly obvious. 9-1, which means if they had $5, they'd get paid $45. If they had $2, they would get paid $18. All right. As far as advanced ways to pay, those will be covered in later videos. And advanced ways to calculate the payouts, or quicker ways to calculate the payouts, also covered in later videos. These are the absolute basics. Plus, everybody has different methods. I'm going to teach you a lot of different methods so that you figure out which one works the best. Last one I'm going to cover on this video, 7-11, because this is another common one on a come-out roll. It's very common for players that are betting the don'ts because they lose on a 7 or 11. So they'll bet the 7-11 to kind of hedge themselves. $2 minimum because, again, $1 on the 7, $1 on the 11. It's 2 different bets. Very rarely is this set up in such a way that the 7 and the 11 are right next, the any 7 and the 11 are right next to each other to where you could do something like split a line. So oftentimes 7-11s are set up like this. They're set up they're set up on the line, heeled off, away from the any 7. Basically away from the any 7 towards the 11. The key for this one is really, really easy. If an 11 rolls, it's 7 times the bet, just like a C&E. If a 7 rolls, you blackjack the bet, 3-2. So $2, you get paid 3. If we really need to work this out for you guys, 4-2-1 or 5-4-1. So this would get paid $4. But their $1.11 lost. To keep it up, we take $1 out of the $4. They get $3. 3-2, they get $3. Blackjack the bet. Very basic. Okay. So those 2 keys are extraordinarily common. Some dealers, or some floors, boxmen, some instructors will even say that those are the only keys that you use. I know one floor that says the C&E key is the only key that he ever even taught. I kind of disagree with that method, but to each their own. There you guys go. Those are the basic common bets that are not hot bets on the center action. We'll get into the hot bets in the next video. Thanks for watching, everybody. Catch you next time. Bye now.